I think that we need to be doing something more than what we're doing.
Good. No.
And
This is what distinguishes you from previous administrations. You care. It's not a job. It's not just a paycheck. You personally are active in it, and you care.
Invested.
well, before I was on this side of the aisle, I was on the other side of the aisle. I was all
You
my
used
life.
to be a Democrat.
I was a Democrat all my life.
Really?
And,
I got to ask, what happened?
well,
Welcome to Around Will County. Today, Elizabeth Lisa Caparelli-Ruff, the superintendent of the Will County Regional Office of Education. She's got her finger on the pulse of education across the county, so we're going to dig into what's happening in our schools, the challenges our kids are facing, and what the future looks like. How are your schools doing? When you look at your tax bill, are you getting your money's worth? Drop us a comment right now and tell us what works and what you would fix tomorrow if you could. We will be exploring these and other topics today with the superintendent of the Regional Office of Education of Will County, Elizabeth Caparelli-Ruff. And hey, if you haven't already, hit that like button and please subscribe.
So here we go.
There we
Dr.
go.
Brian Egan, how you doing?
I'm fantastic. How are
Good.
you?
Good to have you. Dickie Tyler, how you doing?
Doing fine.
Good. Beautiful day out there. Kind of a little chilly, a little rainy, but not a
human down.
not a bad day down by the secret man cave. Oh, and this is a secret man cave location. So after you leave here today, we have to wipe all your memories, just so you know. We got a little pen. But yeah, good day. Dickie Tyler, how you doing?
Doing great.
Good. We have a special guest here, late March, early April. Dr. Elizabeth Caparelli-Ruff with us here today. How you doing, Doctor?
wonderful. Thank you for having me.
Good. Well, thank you for coming out and being a part of our podcast. And IT's yelling at me already that I talk with my hands. Great to have you here today. Really, just a pleasure. And I got to tell you, in politics, I think President Reagan said, everybody makes you happy in politics. You know, some people make you happy when they come through the door, and some people make you happy when they go out the door. You are a rare politician, because I have always enjoyed seeing you and meeting you, and you are just so professional, and I admire you so much. I really do. You do a fantastic job. So thank you for being here today, and thank you for what you do.
Thank you.
And what do you do?
Well, I'm glad you asked that question. I wondered the same thing when I was asked to run. The Regional Office of Education is an arm of the Illinois State Board of Ed. That means we do fingerprint and background checks for the majority of our districts. We do bus driver certification and training. We do professional development for all teachers, related service staff, administrators, and we do licensure. And one of the other things that we do that is very important is annexations and detachments.
Oh, what does that mean?
So when there are developments, PUD developments that people are not very happy with where their district is, they can reach out to the Will County Office of Education or any ROE and ask that they are detached from the area that they are going to school. Now, it's a rare thing, but that is one of the things that our office does.
Wow. Okay, a lot of work. And the PDA, now that is like training for teachers.
So the PDA no longer exists, but
Okay.
our professional development, we renamed it
Okay.
to the Education Innovation Service Center.
Okay, but that was PDA at one time, right? Or PDA or
There
something?
was a PDA.
Okay.
Yes.
And that's, if I understand it correctly, like ongoing education for teachers and
Correct.
oversight and certification. And
Sure.
they're required to get so many continuing ed hours.
They are administrator academies and professional development that they must do to maintain their license.
Certification. And there's got to be a lot of teachers in your area. How many teachers do you oversee?
I'm not sure of the exact number of teachers,
But a
but I
lot.
am sure of the exact number of students. We have roughly 102,000 students.
Oh my
within Will
goodness.
County.
Isn't
Yes.
that something? Oh, wow. Good for you. That's got to be a lot of work. And how many employees do you have there at your office?
At our office, 25 employees.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Good. And your position is obviously an elected position.
It is.
Yeah. And how the heck do you wake up one day and think, man, I want to be a regional superintendent of schools? Do I have that
Yeah,
right?
that did not happen for me.
No.
I was asked by the former Will County chair to run for this position.
Oh, good. All right. So they saw something like me that they liked and thought, hey, you'd be great for the job.
Well, thank you. I hope so. And I hope I didn't let anybody down.
Yeah, good. I've heard nothing but good things. I've heard nothing but good things. What do you think, Doc?
I have a kind of weird question.
Sure.
Elizabeth, I think more Liz or Beth.
Yes.
How do we get Lisa out of
Yes.
Someone's been Googling you.
it?
So I was born in Italy on a U.S. naval base.
Oh, wow.
And my mom and dad got married, and 13 months later I was born. And when they came to picking names, my dad wanted to name me after his mother, which is Binuzza, and in Italy, well, in the U.S., that would be Betty. And my mom said, I'm sorry, I love your mom, but I hate that name. Can we compromise? And she thought something more formal, Elizabeth. But in Italy, there's no Z. It's Elisabetta. So
Okay.
what people do is they shorten it to Lisa.
Huh. Okay. So
That's exactly what I told you. It was so, good. What else is
question,
there?
though. I
Yeah,
get that a
it
lot.
was. Yeah.
I just want to congratulate you on winning the award last year from the Heart Association.
Thank you.
That was very impressive.
Thank you. I was one of 9 asked as a leader of impact for the Illinois area. And what an honor that was. We raised just under $25,000. And that was for AEDs, life-saving, the CPR within schools.
Training,
And I
yeah.
was really, really honored to be asked to do that. And it was fun. Lots of work, but
Well,
fun.
very good job. Good job and well done and very well needed for the kids,
Yes,
because that's bad when that happens in schools,
it is. It is.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
For
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
The other kind of along the same school safety thing, the laminate in the windows. Okay, we got some questions.
Sure.
You're going deep quick, Doctor. You've really been working on your research. This is good. This is good. No, I
you
like
go.
it. No, I like it. It's good. Because I know that was going to be a big thing, right? People have brought up
It is.
spending the money for that's great. That's a great question.
Walk us through that. It's
Sure.
bullet resistant.
So it's shooter resistant laminate film. And they say that for a reason. Is it bulletproof 100%? No, I don't believe anything is. It will withstand. The demo that I watched withstood 8 shots directly to the laminate, and then it still didn't break through. They took a baseball bat, an aluminum baseball bat, and continued to beat on the glass. That still would not break it. They took a claw hammer and finally were able to break through. However, that took 8 minutes. If I can't secure a building in 8 minutes, shame on me. I should not be in this position.
Sure. Sure.
Now, can we back up a little bit, though? Because that was grant money, right?
It was.
You received a grant from who?
Well, the Will County Board decided to give me $70,000 of the cannabis funds that they received last year, and we are very grateful to the Will County Board for giving that money.
Good. And does it come with, like, you have to do certain things with it? Is there any guidelines, or do they tell you what to do with it?
Last year there were no guidelines. Last year it was, help the community, and I think that was great that they did that. And I, again, am very, very grateful. With that $70,000, we were able to put shooter resistant laminate film on every Will County high school, 21 buildings in Will County.
Wow.
Key access points, and that's all I'm allowed to say.
Sure.
Is key access points. So that in the event that an intruder ever tried to come in, an active shooter, that they would be stopped.
Yeah.
Now, the beauty behind that shooter resistant film is the good guys can shoot out, the bad guys cannot shoot in.
Okay.
And that is wonderful.
Yeah. No, and I mean, I think it's great that you got a little bit of money, and the first place you put it is the safety of our children. So good for you. I think that says a lot about you. Yeah. No, that's great. I want to talk a little bit about your politics as far as I think you, North Aurora, did I see? You were an educator up in North Aurora?
East Aurora.
East Aurora. Yeah. And what did you do there?
I was their executive director of student services.
Okay, so going from there to regional superintendent probably was a pretty smooth move. I mean, you didn't, or is that quite a bit different?
It was different. My love for special education has not gone away. That is the reason that I began my whole career in education. I have a cousin with severe and profound autistic disability and nonverbal pica eating disorder, schizophrenic. The flapping, the tics, it's very, very difficult.
Mhm.
And my aunt had him when I was 11 years old. So growing up with someone who has significant disabilities is very eye-opening experience. You can see from an early age what that does to a family. Thanksgivings, Christmas is very different for a student with significant needs that cannot verbalize to you that they are uncomfortable, that they need something. And that was something that really spoke to me. And I thought there has to be a way of teaching these individuals. And it became a passion of mine. And that is actually how I started my career in education.
Wow. Yeah, that's great.
Does, does, it, does the Lincoln School deal with those types of students, or would that be something different?
No, so Lincoln is our regional safe school.
Okay.
That is our school for students in lieu of expulsion. They are sent there for
Okay.
a second chance. And actually, you cannot have an IEP to go there.
You cannot?
You cannot.
Huh.
And an IEP is individual educational plan.
Yeah,
And that's where you identify students who need help.
correct.
And you work with them one-on-one and you give them a plan on how they can get better. Right?
Correct.
Yeah. And I think that's really helped bring our curriculum along. I don't know when they started that exactly, but I thought I didn't have it.
On the other hand, I've also heard where that has been co-opted by some socioeconomic groups where everybody wants an IEP for their kid because their kid is the best. And Stanford University, for example,
Yeah.
most of them have some sort of dyslexia now that they need extra time on their tests.
Oh.
So he's talking about accommodations and things like that.
So yeah,
managing test times.
I can't take this test in an hour. I need 3 hours to take this test.
Oh, yeah. So
Yeah.
you can abuse it.
No,
No, gosh, I can't believe that, Doctor. You can come out abused. I never heard of that before. No. But we got to back up a little bit.
That's nationwide.
IEPs are nationwide?
Of course, it's
Yeah.
federal law.
Is it federal law?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that under George Bush? Did he start that?
George Washington.
see what I got to put up with every time. Every
They're
time.
so funny.
So no, and we got to back up because your mom was an educator.
Yes, she was.
Yeah. And I
Yeah,
don't know if you
she's-
noticed, but my mom was an educator in special ed as well. So that's always
I
been.
didn't know that about
Yeah,
you, Jim.
yeah.
That's why you're so phenomenal.
Well, I'm glad you recognize that because these
The
two
IEP
do
worked.
not recognize that ever. So thank you for pointing that out.
wouldn't
'cause-
tell them that.
yeah, right. So you probably have a little bit of a background in the educational arena as far as what your mom came home with. And
Been exposed to it.
yeah,
For quite a while.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah. It was different back then. One teacher, 30 kids. Go in the beginning of the morning and come out at the end of the day.
Yeah. All the same 30 all day.
Yeah.
Is that, yeah. And it was a 2-room schoolhouse with a horse out front.
It was
and-
Liza Kelly.
Yeah. No.
Liza started Liza Kelly and then went to Troy.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's nice. Good.
Liza Kelly and then somewhere, I can't remember. That was a long, long time ago.
Yeah. Dickie Tyler, you're awful quiet over there. Are you just contemplating?
Just brought up something I was just wondering about your father. Was he involved in medical?
Air traffic
profession?
controller.
Pardon?
Air traffic controller.
Okay.
Mhm.
Up in Chicago.
He worked out of Chicago Center. Yeah.
Okay.
In Aurora.
That's good. So I want to back up because I also find it fascinating you were born in Italy.
I was.
So tell me, it had to be obviously a military background with your
It
mom
was.
and dad. And did you travel quite a bit?
No. So Vietnam was hot and heavy, and
Oh,
my
wow.
father's number was going to
Thought
be
she was
called.
born in 1980 something. So I don't know how that
I-
happened. Yeah.
His number was going to be called, and
Uh-huh.
he thought, my goodness, I don't like the dirt, the mud. And he knew that some of the people on the same block having their number called, that he was going to soon follow. And so he enlisted
Wow.
in the Navy. But I want to back up. He was also born in Italy. He was born in Calabria, Italy, where actually my grandfather fought under Mussolini and was a prisoner of war in Africa for 9 years. My grandmother didn't know whether he was alive or dead for 9 years.
Wow.
And when he finally walked back from Africa, had another 2 sons with my grandmother. In this day and age, I don't know how many women would wait around 9 years not knowing if your husband is alive or dead.
Yeah.
And that is
What a
my
great story.
family's
Yeah, I didn't see
background.
that one
And
coming.
then walking back from Africa to,
Yeah,
you
that's
know,
a long walk.
Cured himself of malaria.
I think
Really?
Yeah, cured himself of malaria. He caught malaria while he was there in his foot, cut his foot open, lit a
Oh.
match, poured pure grain alcohol. And I told my grandfather before he died, they don't make men like you anymore. And he laughed. He said, you want to live. This is what you
Well,
had to do, and you had to acclimate.
wow. Yeah, what a tough story. That's
Yeah. And
pretty good.
so
All right. Well, welcome back. We're going to let our
minor technical issues.
viewers know we are on a stormy day down here in southern Will County, and we may have lost internet for a little while there.
it's okay. It happens.
But luckily we have some great editing staff, and this will go smooth at the end of the day. IT, yes, IT caught the issue, so thank you, IT. So look, Doctor, we want to back up a little bit because you were talking about when you first took over as superintendent, you found a school that Lincoln School,
Lincoln Safe School, Regional Safe
School.
is our school for students that are there in lieu of expulsion.
Great. And what's the gap there? What's the age?
6th grade through 12th grade.
Okay, so our team.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's in Joliet.
It's in Joliet.
And it's a resource. It's a school where kids who are, what do you call them?
Well, I would say
I used trouble and you scolded me.
Well, I don't want to scold you,
No,
Jim,
no,
but
no. I'll take that scolding. I got big shoulders.
My mother used to say there was BD and LD.
What is that?
behavior disorders, learning disabilities.
Okay.
It's-
So, but these children need alternate environment for education.
Sure. So these students are at our Lincoln Regional Safe School in lieu of expulsion.
Okay.
Severe truancy, some sort of mistake they made in their home school that landed them at Lincoln for anywhere of a year to 2 years to stay the expulsion.
Great. And they come from all throughout Will County.
Correct.
Or your area.
Throughout Will County.
And about how many students are in this school?
At any given day, we have between 70 and 125 students.
Okay. And shortly after being elected to this position, regional superintendent of schools,
Correct.
you go out on a visit.
Well, because your background when you originally started was in special ed.
Correct. I started as a special education teacher at Bolingbrook High School, which is part of the Valley View School District. And Bolingbrook High School is about a 4,000 plus student school. And I began as a 9th through 12th grader cross-categorical special education teacher for language arts.
Okay. And you go out after being elected and you visit the school. You do a site inspection. Hey,
Yes.
I'm in charge of this. I'd like to walk through and see what's happening.
Yes, I met with the then principal and I asked for a tour of the school.
There you go. And what did you find?
So on the tour, we looked at classrooms, we looked at the counselor's office, we took a look through the gym. And I don't know what made me ask the question, but it was very odd to me. I said, you showed me all these places, but where's the cafeteria? And he said, no, we don't feed the students here. And I said, what do you mean you don't feed the students? It's a statutory requirement. The students are here all day, correct?
It's a full day
It's a full day.
curriculum.
It's a full day. And he said, I know I've asked for 13 years, and for 13 years I've been told, no, we're not going to feed the students.
Oh, my
So
goodness.
this was in July of 2023. And I said, well, you're a mandated reporter. You know that the students must eat. And he said, well, you're making it sound worse than what it is. If the
Really? Because
students-
how could that be
How
worse
could
than
it
not
be worse?
feeding the children? Yeah.
I know.
Shame on you. Right?
He said, if the students were truly hungry or truly thirsty, I only charged them what I paid for the water or granola bars. And I said, that's not okay. We're not doing that on my watch. And what ended up happening was I reached out to State's Attorney Jim Glasgow and told him what the issue was. And I don't know what made me call him, except that he was very decent, other countywide elected official, and treated me with open arms when I got to the position. And I said, this is an issue. And I don't know where I'm starting, except that I've got to find a way to feed kids. And his first response to me was, even in prison,
Mm,
the people there get 3 hots and a cot.
yeah.
And I said, 3 hots? He said, meals, 3
Yep.
meals and a bed. And I said, well, these juveniles are not in prison and they have to be fed because it's a statutory requirement. And I would love any help you can give. And because State's Attorney Glasgow is a wonderful man, he helps animals and veterans and kids. And
Jim's a good guy. He's got a big
He
heart,
is.
and we have definitely talked good about Jim on the show here.
Yeah,
we
he's-
like Jim.
he's a good man.
He's a Democrat. You got to talk a little slow and explain things to him a little bit.
No,
But other than that, he's a good
stop.
guy.
He's a brilliant guy.
No,
Use one syllable words.
yeah,
No,
no,
he's-
just small words, And if you draw pictures, Jim
You
can
guys are
catch
the
right
worst.
up too.
You're
No,
the worst.
he's really not that bad. No, we love Jim. We really do. We like Jim. He's a good. I consider
He's
him
a
a friend.
good
Yeah.
man. And the way that he helped us at the county was he donated a refrigeration
Oh, wow.
device, and he was truly irritated with finding out that the kids were not fed as well.
Oh, I
He
believe
said
that,
that
yeah.
this is a statutory requirement. He agreed with me and didn't know that the kids were not being fed
Yeah.
in all of those years. And so what we did next was reach out to community members and let them know, the superintendents, look, the kids aren't being fed. We're going to need to raise tuition. As it was, they were being charged $10 a day per student to have students there, and they were a year and a half behind in billing the district. So
Oh.
when I told the superintendents what was happening, some didn't believe me. And I said, well, if you don't believe me, call the principal. I can't make this up. And some did.
Mhm.
They didn't believe me. They called and they found out their students that were sent there were never fed.
Wow.
And that did not sit well with me. And so we figured out a way of getting the students fed breakfast and lunch every day,
Wow.
to the fact that the thank you notes we had gotten from the students, I've kept them to this day. One card sticks out in my mind the most. He said, not only do I eat every day because this means so much, you have gotten me food to take home to my mom and sister every
Oh,
week
my
because we work with a
goodness.
local food bank. And to not make students feel bad, we have the bag of food on the bus seat. So nobody else knows, the student knows. 90% of our students there were considered homeless, 95% Black and brown students.
Oh, my goodness.
And they are students that I feel were truly forgotten about by the last administration. And that makes me very heartbroken, because the other thing that we've done with these students is we've partnered with Joliet Junior College to build dual credits for these kids. They do not have the ability to go to Wilco, which is our CTE, Career Technical Education program, that all other Will County high school students can attend. But because they have been removed from their homeschool, they cannot go onto the grounds of Wilco. And so getting these students the dual credit ability with Joliet Junior College of hand washing, sanitation, and Microsoft Suites at least allows these students to build some sort of a resume, because they are so much in jeopardy of dropping out of school. And so we wanted to have something for these kids.
Sure.
I don't think that that's enough. I think that we need to continue working on that. And so we are now working with Mr. Glasgow's office to start a foundation
Yeah.
for these students, to have mentors that, like them, could have perhaps made a bad choice or two in the beginning of their life and have now managed to turn it around and get these kids from where they are, make sure that they graduate, that they are, up to date with their credits. If they were credit deficient from whatever high school they came from, that we get them those credits, but that there's some sort of plan for after high school life. And that is what I would like to build on.
What a great idea. I mean, other than the mentoring, the foundation, what other resources could they offer there? And what do you hope to, like, financial? What could help that foundation?
I think what would help the foundation is people, not only money. Money's great, but I think that people that want to donate their time, that want to work with these students, that say, hey, you don't have a strong male figure in your life. I'd like to be that strong male figure, and let's figure out some things together. Either, somebody who could have been a barber, a very successful barber. I didn't go to college, but I went to barber trade school, and now I own my own barber shop.
Sure.
That'd be phenomenal. Maybe even if a student has an entrepreneurial spirit that says, you know what, I don't like school, that's fine. Do you love detailing cars?
Sure.
Let's start a car detail business, formulate a business plan, look at doing something that is constructive with the rest of their life.
Yeah.
Other than saying, we're just going to throw these children away. We don't throw children away.
No.
They're valuable. We need to teach them a skill.
A big
Yeah.
brother, big sister kind
Something.
of arrangement.
Something.
Yeah.
I think that we need to be doing something more than what we're doing.
Good.
This,
No.
And
this is what distinguishes you from previous administrations. You care. It's not a job. It's not just a paycheck. You personally are active in it, and you care.
Invested.
Yeah,
Yeah.
invested in it.
Yeah.
And
And
you
I think that comes through.
Yeah.
It really does come
you
through.
started your career in special education, and one of the first schools you visited was Lincoln. What brought you to that?
I think she's got a soft spot.
It seems like it.
I'm
doesn't
thinking that. And I've met her husband. I can see it. Yeah.
I have a soft spot, but I think every child can do something. I believe that, truly. I think what we teach children is the way that they're going to behave, the way that we care for their needs. So if a student is troubled in any way, shape, or form, are we to say they don't deserve to eat? They don't deserve our time? No, we need to help them more, because they are the students that are crying out more for help.
Yeah.
And it is incumbent on us to give them that help.
What-
And
What sparked you to go into special ed?
so I have a cousin with severe disabilities, autism, profound autism, nonverbal, pica eating disorder, and schizophrenic, and deaf on top of everything. So when I was growing up, my aunt had a child when I was 11 with these severe needs. And growing up with this child in your family with significant needs during Thanksgiving and Christmas, you see the things, the behaviors, and the acting out. And these families, they need the school bus to come and pick up these children. They do. They need for a break because they have these kids all day. And the children are wonderful children that I've been blessed to teach and to be around. But these parents truly struggle with kids that have significant high needs. And those are some of the very kids that deserve our help more. Now, these are not any of the kids that we service at Lincoln, because in order to go to Lincoln, you actually cannot have an IEP. But going to work at Valley View and teaching students with multiple disabilities was a passion, and that is how I began my career.
I want to be clear, though. You oversee all public schools,
All public schools,
not
in Will
just,
County.
the Lincoln, but you see, and when you are kind of like the watchdog of the public schools.
So the ROE is an arm of the Illinois State Board of Education.
Mhm.
We do licensure, fingerprints, background checks, professional development for every area of education. So for our related service staff, for principals, for teachers, for superintendents,
Okay.
we do administrator academy trainings at our place, and various professional development.
And you even go out in the field and walk through these schools looking for safety issues
We
and
do.
making sure they have everything they need for a safe environment.
Yes, we
Ha-
do the safety compliance visit.
Yeah. Have you ever found anything?
There are always things that can be improved upon. Sometimes teachers will put a heater on in their classroom because, unfortunately, the way that these schools are designed, they're not always as warm as they need to be or
Sure.
as cool as they need to be. So sometimes they're plugging in fans, and
Yeah.
we just need to make sure that those extension cords aren't doing those heating elements
Yeah.
or the running across the floor where it's a health, life, safety issue.
Sure.
So we go in and we make sure that the schools pass these health, life, safety
That's awesome.
inspections.
That's awesome.
And one of the other things I think that you found out when you toured Lincoln was there may be a health, life, safety violation that was going on there.
So, in as much as we found the issue of not feeding the kids, one of the other things is because Lincoln is a 3-story school, students that were on the 3rd floor and the 2nd floor for classes, whenever one student goes to the bathroom, the teacher has to walk all of the kids down to the bathrooms. And this school in particular only had a bathroom on the 1st floor, where the majority of the classes are on the 2nd and the 3rd floor. And so we built another bathroom on the 2nd floor because this is just a lot of stair climbing, right? Throughout the day, if you're going to the bathroom 8 or 10 times and you're walking up and down and up and down and up and down, not only are you taking away from classroom time, but it's kind of a pain. So building another bathroom on the 2nd floor was, I thought, a need. The teachers, the students are much happier. My goal is to build another bathroom on the 3rd floor, but we have to do it in stages.
Sure. And part of the ROE's charter is also not only inspecting schools, but giving out the building permits for schools.
So there
that-
are permitting things
Mhm.
that we work with through the
Yeah.
Illinois State Board of Education and the townships. Yes.
And walk me through that. Why is it more efficient for the ROE to do the permitting rather than the county board permit process?
So we work in conjunction with the townships.
Okay.
They do strictly building, but we come in and there is more specialized 188-point inspection that we end up doing. We have specialized architect that comes through and walks the buildings with us.
Okay.
If I could bring us back a little bit, we are in an election cycle. You are running for office. This
I
is an elected position every 4 years.
Yes.
You're elected in 22, and now your cycle is up again in 26.
Correct.
I personally think sitting at this table, your passion and dedication is just so obvious. And I can tell you, bar none, everybody I talk to has nothing but respect and admiration for Dr. Caparelli. But you do have an election.
I do.
So what separates you from your opponent?
Well, I began in special education, but I definitely did not stop there. I was also a job coach after being in the classroom for 3 years. I won a national teaching award in 2005 at Bolingbrook High School.
Wow.
I think that sets me apart a little bit. More than that, though, I worked for a number of years with school resource officers. We call them SROs, lots of acronyms in education. And I worked with them because I was the dean of students at Bolingbrook High School. And that is a 4,000 plus student school. There is nothing like learning on the job what mob action, fights, melee in the hallways are like if you're not in the middle of it.
Yeah.
And that is what has given me a deep respect for the school resource officers, for deans, for the administrators in schools, because until you have walked that walk and talked that talk, you have zero idea how dangerous it can be in a school.
Yeah.
And I have this beautiful scar on my neck is a lovely reminder. I have 2 plates, 4 screws holding my spinal column
Get out of
together,
here. What you got to tell this
and
story?
3
What
hooks holding
happened?
my shoulder together. I was
At Bolingbrook?
No, luckily not. I was a principal at a therapeutic day school.
Mhm.
And this student, lovely student, actually a great young lady, began becoming schizophrenic. She started out as a behavior disabled young lady that was a foster child and then became schizophrenic. And she said that she heard voices and saw the devil in the corner telling her to kill herself.
Oh my gosh.
And so she would take a pencil and jam it in her wrist repeatedly. I told the owners of this school that I didn't believe she was appropriately placed any longer and that I didn't think we could service her needs. And they said, she'll be okay. She'll be okay. And I said, I don't think so. And one day she did not want to go to the hospital, although she had taken a pencil and jammed her wrist again. I had 2 school staff watching her while I was going to make a call to the police and to the ambulance. That is the protocol whenever a student threatens to self-harm. And rather than the staff watching her as they should have been, they were talking to each other. She had that 2 seconds of
Mm.
movement and attacked me from behind.
Oh my goodness.
And hit my head and neck on a desk, and while I was on the ground began pulling my shoulder behind me and tore my rotator cuff and kept going, or the
Wow.
acromion. So that year in 2014, I had 2 major surgeries, my neck and my shoulder.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
Yes. So you need to prioritize school safety. And until you've been through something like that, you take it very light, like, oh, everything will be okay.
Sure.
When in reality, you have to be very, very careful.
Yeah. Yeah. Says a lot. You
Yes.
came back to work. A lot of people,
Yes.
that would have been the end of the day, right? I'm
My
out.
husband and my
Yeah.
sons did not want me to go back to
I bet
education.
not. I bet not. They're probably thinking, what the heck, right?
Yes,
That's not really what you signed up for.
exactly. But, again, didn't make her a bad person. It was, she had a bad day.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that happens.
Wow. All right. I have a different view there, but maybe it's the law enforcement in me, but that's okay. So look, we have to bring up the fact though, and I think your passion comes through so clear, but other people are seeing this too, and you have just a long list of endorsements from the unions.
I do.
Can you explain
Yeah,
that?
I've been very blessed. My husband's in the union.
Yeah.
He's in Local 399, but I have had the opportunity to talk to a number of the head of unions. The Teamsters just endorsed me. Local 150 endorsed me. Local 399 endorsed me, and most recently the Teamsters. And the fact that they are the backbone of our communities and chose to endorse me speaks volumes to me.
Yeah, why do you think they did?
I think I'm an average person that sees the need for education, and that my love and passion for the students comes through. I'm blessed and fortunate that they saw that I really do care,
Mhm.
and I want to do a good job.
Yeah. And I think you got 4 years of a brilliant track record.
Not yet. 2.5 years in. Can you believe it? 2.5 years in, and we're campaigning already. And this is the part I hate.
3.5.
2.5. I started in July 2023.
Is that right?
Yeah, because you win in November, and then unfortunately the
they
person
got to
is
finish the
lame
school
duck.
year.
They have to finish the school year.
Oh, that's
which,
kind of
that's brutal.
School year.
Awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every other position, though, you're right. They take over in
Sure,
January.
that would make sense. Yeah,
Yeah.
but you're right. I guess
But
they
it's
let 'em-
academic year to academic year.
that's different.
It's unique.
So tell us, you had to have goals. What's one of the bigger and best things you're proud of?
Well, the biggest thing I'm proud of really is we were able to work with both sides in Will County on the Will County board. And I love that once a year I'm able to come in front of them and tell them some of the things that we did. They too were very, very upset when they found out that the students at Lincoln were not being fed.
Sure.
And when I told them my passion in school safety, they were giving away cannabis funds a couple years ago. And I go to these school safety meetings, and I was able to meet the founders of Clear Armor, shooter resistant laminate film. And I saw a demonstration, and I was literally blown away. I thought, this is unreal. And as I said, being through Alice trainings and reunification plans that we do, all of it,
Yeah.
active shooters, I wanted to do something that set Will County apart. And when I was fortunate enough to get the $70,000 in cannabis funds last year, I thought, I want to start with protecting our high schools. And so we were able to do that. And
Yeah.
we're one of the only counties in the state, to my
Wow.
knowledge,
Yeah.
that every important access point in the Will County high schools has this shooter resistant laminate glass on it. And we are very, very fortunate that we have that on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you say shooter resistant, is that like a water resistant watch? You know, you,
So I don't think that anything could ever be truly bulletproof as it relates to glass. Uh, but what I saw was 8 shots pointed at this film and nothing penetrated. And the person doing the demonstration then took an aluminum bat and was hammering away at this glass. I mean, we're 8 minutes in and nothing went through, even after it had 8 shots in the glass. They then took a claw hammer and were hacking away. If I can't secure a building in 8 minutes, I have no business being in this shop.
Sure.
Anybody worth their salt should be able to lock down a building in that amount of time. And all it does is buy you time.
Mhm.
And that's what you need to get the rest of the cavalry out protecting the
Mhm.
building.
Yeah.
And this shooter resistant laminate film is unlike anything I've ever seen.
Yeah. Well, obviously, being in law enforcement, I personally appreciate the fact we didn't, run out and buy 3 computers or run out and buy, a new van. That your first thought is, in today's environment, how do I protect the students? And
Yes.
I mean, unfortunate, but reality is money well spent. Good for you.
Thank you.
Yeah, money well
think
spent.
So
speaking of protecting students, what is your view on phones in the classroom?
So I have 2 schools of thought. One, I'm a mom first, and I love that children have the ability to have a phone at school. I think, though, during class time, it should be in their lockers. I don't like curriculum time being taken away by the phone. Social media is so pervasive right now. Do I think, as a mom, kids should have the ability to get a hold of me? Of course I do. Of course I do. But I don't think curriculum time should be taken away by cell phones. I think that we get kids for 48 to 50 minutes
Yeah.
for mathematics, science, language arts, PE. Let them be present during that curriculum and be here now.
Yeah.
And, the phone being in your locker, then if you need to shoot a quick text to mom or dad of, hey, the buses are coming late, or hey, coach canceled practice, or whatever it may be, you can then still get a hold of your parent,
Sure.
but it's in the locker where it should be safe
Mm-hmm.
and be available to you during those passing periods. I just think that it takes away from curriculum time, that we only have these kids for that set amount of time, and
Yeah.
it should be so protected.
Yeah.
But what do you think about even in the passing periods? Should they be on TikTok or should they be talking to one another?
I think that kids right now don't have a lot of good role models that are in social media. I think that so many of the bullying things that we hear
Mm-hmm.
about and all of that is time that they're taking away from. And I like the kids to be more present and talking to one another and being in groups. I hear teachers say, "My God, kids can't even have conversations nowadays." And that's heartbreaking, because we do need those social skills and we need to talk to one another to solve our issues.
Correct.
Posting all the time or trying to be some sort of social media, whatever, influencer, if you will. Um, I don't think that's time well spent during the school day.
Yeah.
I think that there's plenty of time outside of school that you could be doing that.
So should the phone just remain in the locker all day long?
I mean, I think so.
Recently there was a couple of lawsuits, one for
Mhm.
like $6 million, another one for 300 million, about the social media influence on the young women
Yeah.
that, and maybe until they're out of high school, they shouldn't really have a phone in school.
Well, that's the part, as a mom, if I feel like, hey, a parent needed to say, left for work, whatever, key under the mat or something that has changed that they have to get a message to their child if they're able to just text it. And before a student is getting on the bus or before they're picked up, they have that message from their parent at the end of the day. And that's great. And then if they have to go to the office to make a call or any of those things, that option is available to them.
Yeah.
But utilizing that classroom time that is just such a short period of the day, you're never getting that curriculum time back.
Yeah.
You're just not getting it back.
Yeah.
So overall view on screen time for junior high, high school kids
So screen time as it relates to during curriculum time,
all day long.
I think there's time after school or before school to look at anything that you need online. I really do.
What do you think? Is there a too much time? What should the parents be watchful for in their kids at home? If the kid is coming home at 3:30 and is on TikTok until 10 p.m. or staying up until 2 a.m. on TikTok,
Yeah, that's a problem.
that's a problem.
I think it's a problem. One of the things that I did was I networked with Detective Rich Wistocki to bring in a lot of knowledge about ensuring that students are not catfished or doxxed or any of those
Mhm.
things. And he has gone to a number of the school districts and has trained on issues like not doing station adjustments and ensuring that students aren't given tickets for vaping and things like that, that we're actually changing behaviors.
Mhm.
Because just giving a student a ticket or vaping, okay, so now what you've ended up doing is you're giving a $100 or $150 ticket to a parent. How is that teaching the student?
Sure.
That's not really teaching the student how bad it is to vape. We need to change the behavior, modify that behavior. And so his program,
But all the
helps
cool
with
kids
that.
on TikTok are doing it. I watched it all last night for 8 hours.
Yeah, that's why we're trying to get away from
I want to
that.
back you up a little bit, where I taught for 4 years at Wilco. And you know who's worse on the phones than the students is the parents
Mhm.
who will text their kid at 9:30 and they damn well know they're sitting in my classroom, you got to be home after school to baby. And you'll be like, what are you doing? Well, my mom texted me. I'm like, the parents are as bad as the kids nowadays, So the phone thing, good luck. I'll tell you,
Well, I
that's
think
an
parents
issue
right
that you
now,
struggle, with,
yeah,
you know,
I think the parents right now are doing the best they can. A lot of parents have 2 and 3 jobs, and it might have been when they woke up and this was the
yeah.
first time. Could they have called the office to maybe get the child the information of, don't forget to pick up your sister walking home, whatever it is.
Mhm.
But right now it's really rough for parents too.
Yeah.
I think it's very, very difficult when parents are single parents
No, I agree.
and they're struggling to do the best that they can.
Yeah. Just
Really.
time and place for everything, though.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
goodness.
Again, Mr. Tyler, you've been awfully quiet over there today. His wife
listening
just
and
got back
learning.
from an 11-day cruise, so he's probably all thrilled she's home, and you were
Yes,
a
ma'am.
bachelor for 11 days, and now,
She had 50 pounds of potatoes, and so she made potato salad, potato soup. I don't want
for the 11 days she was gone. Yeah. Yeah.
potatoes for breakfast,
Should make that.
supper.
Yeah. Is that your Irish heritage
St.
coming
Patrick's
through
Day. I
there?
was
Yeah.
gonna say that's St. Patrick's Day leftovers.
Potatoes.
Yeah. So you want to go out
Your
some,
potato famine.
yeah, go have some French fries?
Yeah.
Do you have anything else you want to get out?
I think that some of the best things we have done has been to hire a director of school safety, and she has enabled all of our SROs and schools that even don't have a school resource officer but has an administrator in place, that we have done reunification plans, which is something that we never had in Will County.
Sure.
We're doing mutual aid agreements so that any of our school districts, and we've had some terrible things happen just recently in Crete and in Manhattan, where if a school is really struggling and they don't have social workers that are emotionally available there right now to help with, a loss of a student, a loss of a staff, we have been sending help to these agencies. We work with the emergency management agency to also get that help that the districts need so desperately. That is something we're working on. I'm working on getting more cannabis funds so that school districts can choose either the glass protection, or they could choose a visitor management protection like a Raptor or Vector or whatever companies are out there for school safety. Because another thing that has been absent is sometimes we have to suspend students. And when we suspend them, they can't go to extracurricular things like dances or football games or basketball games. Well, a lot of times there's a little bit of a lag. You know that you suspended somebody at 2 o'clock, they should be off school grounds. But the next person that is there as a dean watching the basketball game or
Yeah.
watching the football game, they don't know yet that Johnny shouldn't be here, or Stacy shouldn't be at this game.
Especially when there's 4,000 kids in the school, they're
Exactly.
not going to know
And
them.
so when a student is trying to re-enter, showing that ID and saying, hey, you got flagged, you're not supposed to be on school grounds for the next 10 days because you were just in a fight. Because imagine if you were just suspended and you were in a fight and you go back onto school grounds and you see the person you were just in a fight with, what's going to happen? Chances are you're getting into that fight again and it could become worse.
Sure.
And so we want to give schools a choice. And either the shooter resistant film, I think, is an excellent choice for the next iteration of safety, which we want it to be junior highs. Or having that visitor management, I think that is also very worthwhile. And we want to give it to the schools to decide what is it that they can utilize better. So that is supposed to be coming down the pike, and we're set to get $200,000 in cannabis funds again,
Wow.
thanks to the Will County Board. And I want to say that they're a great group of people that listen to our needs as an ROE, and I think that they're being very, very fair and seeing that we can use some additional money for safety. And some people argue, well, the school districts are a taxing body. They are a taxing body, but we have so many school districts in Will County that cannot afford the extra. They cannot.
Mm.
So there are the haves and the have-nots for sure.
Yeah.
And even when they may not be a school in significant need, but they are able to pay their teachers and make sure that everything is safe, having the extra of laminate glass that is shooter resistant, or having that visitor management system that is not in the budget, they now can do it because of the kindness of the Will County Board.
Yeah.
They don't have to give us the money. They are choosing that cannabis funds are there, and why not give it to several entities? And I'm not the only entity that they're giving that money to.
Yeah. Yeah. It kind of comes to mind. I often think as a sheriff's candidate, I wish we weren't party,
Me too.
related. And I think that just kind of came through what you said. You go to the board, there's really not a left or a right or a blue or a red, and it's the safety of our children. And I think it's, it again says a lot that you're kind of put that aside and you're able to talk to both sides. And
Well, before I was on this side of the aisle, I was on the other side of the aisle. I was all
you
my life.
used to be a Democrat.
I was a Democrat all my life.
Really?
And
I got to ask, what happened?
well, Obama's second term happened.
Okay.
And it made me change my mind on a couple of things. But in truth, people that are the extremes on the right and people that are extremes on the left scare the hell out of me.
Yeah.
I like middle of the road. I'm a common sense person that graduated from Loyola with a political science degree. And I remember a time that we could have very complex discussions on our political ideology and not shout at the person across the way. I like when we could see both sides of things. And actually talk, and there's not shouting and there's not getting angry, and it's just all about, well, let's agree to disagree,
Sure.
because what is in the best interests of kids or senior citizens or veterans or whatever issue we're talking about. So having been on the other side, I think is valuable because I can evaluate things
Yeah.
on both sides and really come together with my own decision.
Yeah.
And I think that being all together on one side or all together on another side, you have to be able to have a conversation with everyone.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny that the parallel that's coming through to me is, I'm kind of with you. I wasn't blue, I wasn't red, and it was right. It's funny because it was right around that same time that I started leaning a little more to the right, and being in law enforcement the way we've been under attack the last 10, 15 years.
Yeah, that's been brutal, Jim. My
strictly
hats
by
off
the
to you.
and strictly by the left. And the Republican Party has really come around and supports law enforcement. So I've been in law enforcement 25 years. I've never once gone to a call, and asked that person, are you blue, red, green? Yeah, I don't care. I've never asked, and I really don't care. But I think politics has put me in the position of being a Republican where I feel the need to defend my law enforcement, brothers and sisters. And I could see that almost in the education world as well.
Well, and I hate that this position is a political one because
I
I don't
agree.
think it should be.
I agree.
I really don't. And we're actually one of the few states that it is.
Is that right?
Yeah.
No,
most are appointed.
Yeah, that could be a whole new can of worms, though, right? So maybe, yeah, we'd have to talk about that. Yeah,
it could be, but I feel very fortunate to be in this role, and I love this role. I think that we can really help school districts and community members and students in this role. And some of the community outreach we do huge backpack giveaways, we do STEM fairs, we do the spelling bee. We're doing lots of very cool things, but the Educators of Excellence Awards is the thing that we're doing Thursday night. And I'm extremely thrilled to be doing this. Prior to my coming on board here, Kane County, DuPage, various other counties had an award for educators. But an educator isn't just a teacher. It isn't just a principal. It isn't just a superintendent. It's the guy that's in charge of buildings and grounds, or a girl that's in charge of buildings and grounds. It's a paraprofessional. It's a speech pathologist or a psychologist. And the fact of the matter is, we honor students that do very, very well every year through our Three Rivers organization. We never acknowledged the educators. And I think that that is just a travesty of justice, because without our educators, where would our students be?
Sure.
We really need to honor our exceptional educators and what they do every day.
Yeah.
And so Thursday, we are having an Educator in Excellence Award, and it's going to be at Juliet's.
That's awesome.
And I'm very excited to be the person that started it in Will County.
Yeah. What a great idea, too. I mean, people do like to be appreciated.
Well, and we have to appreciate teachers. We have to appreciate police officers. You keep us safe.
Mm-hmm.
I have yet to meet someone that says, "Oh, a guy with a gun was chasing me. I called a social worker." No, that doesn't happen.
Well, yeah. That's another podcast. So look, just can't say enough about you. I was Team Caparelli-Ruff before today, and even having you here with us today, even more so now. I mean, I think you're the right person for the job, and I hope the people of Will County will get out and vote. And even like you say, it doesn't matter if you're blue or red or
all the kids.
You're here to help everybody, and I think that really comes through. You are an incredible person.
Thank you.
Yes, thank
you are as well.
Very nice meeting you.
Yeah. We wish you all the best.
Yes.
Dr. Elizabeth Caparelli-Ruff. Is that right?
Yes.
No.
Superintendent of Schools?
Is it Elizabeth or is it
It's Lisa.
It's Elizabeth.
Okay.
Yeah. We're not in Italy, so we don't have to go there.
Okay.
Yeah. Just vote, folks.